Okay, I decided to skip demolition for a while and go ahead and put a lid up here. It's about 20 degrees outside and all my heat kept going up in the attic, so you decided to go ahead and just cut a piece of sheetrock and put it up here. That works actually fairly well. Before, the sheetrock was down here and the insulation kind of came from up here at the joist line, then dropped down. And the walls actually weren't insulated, and so I used to get cold air in here. So by putting this piece of sheetrock up here, we're going to keep all the insulation up at the bottom of the joist, which I think will work out a lot better. Fiberglass insulation, by the way, can't hold a candle to rock wool, which is what's been falling down out of here on top of me. Hence one more reason for sealing this up. So go ahead and put some drywall screws in it and get it held in place, then we'll get back to demolition. Okay, time for a history lesson. When I originally bought the house, my grandfather had bathroom carpet. I have no idea who came up with the concept of bathroom carpet, but it's a terrible idea. So one of the first things I did was I wanted to replace the toilet and tear up the carpet. I knew that eventually I was going to go ahead and remodel the entire bathroom and redo the shower, but I had some tile left over from a project, and I thought, you know, I'll get in there this weekend, pull up the carpet, pull up the toilet, replace the toilet, and just put down some tile for right now. And I kind of forgot about the details of that whole process. Well, when I pulled up the toilet and the carpet, I found a place, or I found that the stop had been leaking. The stop is a water supply for the toilet, and it had one of those kind of drip and then 5 minutes later drip sort of leaks. So excuse me, what had happened was the carpet had gotten saturated back behind the toilet, but it wasn't enough water that it became obvious or the rest of the floor became wet where you actually walked. And who knows how long that went on. It caused a lot of water damage to the subfloor. In the earlier video you saw where I patched that. When I pulled up the subfloor patch and the other subfloor that I was pulling up the particle board, I kind of remembered what I did. I knew that eventually I was going to remodel the whole bathroom, and there was also that I found the water damage from the water leaking out around the shower curtain. Well, I went ahead and put on a shower door, so that solved that problem, but I couldn't fix the subfloor over there at that point in time because it meant taking the shower out. Well, obviously now's the time to fix that, but anyhow, when I pulled up the patch over the toilet, I remembered that there was some damage to the subfloor, the bottom layer of the subfloor, and when I did the toilet, it's kind of the same thought process, as I really can't replace this at the moment, or it doesn't make sense to replace it at the moment. I'll go ahead and patch over the top of it, and then when I do the whole shower and bathroom remodel, I'll go ahead and replace everything at that point in time. So that's where we're at. There's a little bit more subfloor to take up the bottom layer than I thought. I was going to kind of save that one little water damage portion, but I've determined while I've got it up, I'm just going to go ahead and cut all this stuff out. I do have the particle board up. I've cut it back to a point on each side where it's stable. There's nothing wrong with it. And so we're just going to go back in with some 3/4 inch plywood, just patch the bottom layer, and then another layer of 3/4 inch plywood over the top of it. So let's take a look at what we've got to do. Here is the water damage caused by the leak from the stop. There was another piece of plywood right there. I went ahead and pulled that up. As you can see, it's pretty significant, but the floor out here where you stood and where the toilet was mounted, it's actually still solid. And by putting that piece of 3/4 inch plywood over it, I basically bridged over it. It worked fine for several years, but now's the time to fix this while I've got this door apart. Over here you can see the damage from the water leaking out of the shower over years and years and years. It's not really that bad, but while I've got all the rest of this, I'm going to go ahead and tear it out. The top veneer is damaged obviously, but it's still solid as all get out, but time to fix it, might as well do it now. Over here you can see the shower drain, and what I did was, you can actually, this white stuff right here around the edge is actually the old fiberglass shower surround, and in order to get the shower floor out and surround out, I cut it up with Sawzall and just cut around the drain for the time being. Now you can see over there, there's another hole. My guess is that's where they thought the drain was going to be, because that would have been in the center of the shower, but for some reason this shower insert actually had an off-center drain. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, and you can kind of see my layout lines there, is I'm going to go ahead and cut out a square around both openings, and patch that back in, because we're going to have to put in a new shower drain anyhow that's going to be centered in the new shower. So we'll go ahead and cut that out, and I guess I'll get the saw going and cut up the subfloor, and we'll get it put back together.